Imagine you lost your car, you're barely getting paid, and you're eating water with a couple of beans in it. You're depressed. What would you do? Of course, go to the movies and watch a man in tight tights swashbuckle across your screen. Ah, yes, the movies in the 1930s, because living through the fantastical is better than reality. A joint collaboration between William Nighy and Michael Curtiz was released May 14th, 1938. William Nighy started the project, but partway through, Warner Brothers decided to add more action flair and reduce the forest lingering. They brought in Curtiz, who is now known for creating classics like Casablanca, Huckleberry Finn, and White Christmas. You know, the one Christmas movie your mom brings out every year that's not Elf.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Cut to The Adventures of Robin Hood. Based on the book The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood, done by Howard Ply, Michael Curtiz had us follow Robin Hood, a noble turned outlaw, in the Sherwood Forest as he leads a group of merry men with the sole purpose of robbing from the rich and giving to the poor, after Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham tax the land dry, standing in as king while the true king, King Richard the Lionheart, has gone on crusades. Set in medieval England, Robin Hood uses skills of archery, leadership, and good looks to convince the townspeople to join his cause, reminding them that they are not helpless and to stand up against the oppression that Prince John has put on the common folk.
Tell me, who are you?
I'm called Robin Hood.
Seems I've heard of you.
Nothing good, I hope.
Ah, now I remember. How is your loyalty to Richard set on a killer of knights, a poacher of the king's deer, and an outlaw?
Those I killed died for misusing the trust that Richard left them. And the worst rogue of these is the king's own brother.
Ah, then you blame Prince John.
No, I blame Richard.
Luckily, along with these adventures directors, Norman Riley, Rain Sutton Miller, and Rowland Leigh joined as screenwriters. Through swashbuckling merry outlaws, they told the tall tale of social justice, loyalty, morals, and rebellion, using the lens of humor with cheesy one-liners and loud laughing. To creating this entertaining, easy watchable film. The writers of The Adventures of Robin Hood wanted to bring these directors' ideas to light. They wanted to bring that lighthearted adventure story that people knew and loved from the book, but also bring that intensity, high fighting stakes that had become slowly popular over the screen. The Adventures of Robin Hood became one of the most iconic films during the golden age of Hollywood, with a genre of swashbuckling adventure creating one of the most familiar styles of heroes today, called the lovable rogue. Characteristics of being charming, athletic, witty, intelligent, while bending the rules. However, at the end of the day, is noble in morals, wins the day in the hearts of those watching on screen. This film attempted to create a sense of adventure, moral disputes, and political turmoil. The combination of those three things became a popular tone, especially from books to movies, an example being The Three Musketeers or The Mark of Zero, 1920. The swashbuckling narrative adapted on screen not as realism, but as adventure, going against the system, creating their own rules. The sword fighting, acrobatics, and unwavering sense of justice designed to make the audience cheer for these qualities that made Adventures of Robin Hood so entertaining, despite the questionable morals and the actions that the main hero possibly has, such as killing and stealing. Both Michael Curtiz and William Nighy brought their strengths as directors to create this light-hearted charm but great intensity. William Nighy, who started the project, focused on the more playful side, since his work was more extensive in comedies during the time. The humor of relationships, including the merryman's camaraderie and the love interest that Maid Marian and Robin Hood had. Enter Michael Curtiz as he attempted to elevate the dramatic moments. Known for high-intensity films such as Captain Blood, which did wonders at the box office, added scenes with high risk and high reward, such as the archery contest, Robin Hood's escape, and the fighting scene with the Friar of Nottingham, also known as Sir Guy. Creating an equal balance to Niley's easy, lighthearted humor, there was intensity and excitement. Both directors minded the pacing of the film, as while they had two different tones, they had an intense moment, which was followed by a lighthearted moment, creating an even balanced film score. It was entertaining, kept audience engaged, didn't feel as if it was too much or too little. You were able to engage with the characters just enough while seeing something fantastical. The writers of Adventures of Robin Hood crafted a script that brought out the humor adventurous story with a dash of romance, building their script off of the old Robin Hood tale. So by adding more vibrant film and characters with sharp wit and daring escapes, they were able to create these larger-than-life characters that were entertaining to watch on screen. Several examples of this include the dynamic sword fights or the archery contest, which show Robin's cunning personality and skill, the humor infused with the script demonstrated by the Merrymen's camaraderie, which causes feelings of likability and relatable characters, Friar Tuck's banter, Robin's cheeky taunts, or Little John's attitude creating this sense of charm. Some of the best lines created for this movie that remain quotable to this day.
With the compliments of your royal brother, King Richard, God bless him.
By my faith, that you're a bold rascal. Robin, I like you.
I'm gratified. Overtaxed, overworked, and paid off with a knife, a club, or a rope.
Why, you speak treason.
Fluently.
Shot in 3-strip Technicolor, Warner Brothers spared no expense when it came to this film, as it had a budget of $2 million. Because of this, the sets were clean and spacious, while the backgrounds, as well as the costumes, were filled with texture and detail. The careful use of light and shadow elevated the storytelling as a collaborative work to bring in the intense moments as well as the joy. The best example of Adventures in Robin Hood using light and shadow to develop their story is the fight between Sir Guy and Robin Hood. The shadows against the castle wall create a sense of awe and intrigue. This became legendary as it focused on what color and shadows could truly achieve together. Medium shots of showing different relationships, such as Maid Marian with Robin, panning shots across new surroundings in the forest, as well as low-key and high-key lighting, establishing a different various senses with danger or excitement. Looking a little more closely at the actors, Errol Flynn is considered to be the best and most beloved Robin Hood. Even at a young age, he was called dashing, a reputation that continued throughout his career. Errol Flynn had worked on several previous films before The Adventures of Robin Hood, including In the Wake of the Bounty of 1933 and I Adore You, also in 1933. A little bit later, in 1935, he joined the project Captain Blood, starring Olivia de Havilland, which he frequently co-starred with. He was known to be athletic, quick learner, doing all his own stunts by Ralph Faulkner, and was considered to be a very charming, outgoing personality. Finn brought a positive light to this rebel character, as his charm and presentation on screen made acting look easy, as banter and loud laughing was simply his personality. Errol Flynn as Robin made you believe that what he was doing was for the people. His kind heart towards others as he walked around them, encouraging them while making split decisions in the moment for the better of people, made you want to cheer for him. While he was a dangerous thief, he showed that there was more to him, that he had a heart. His morals were strong in his people, in the king, and in the kingdom. Errol Flynn as Robin Hood showed what true heroism looks like. While giving up your noble title, giving up your lifestyle and your money, fighting for what you believe is right. While what he was doing was inherently wrong, thieving and killing others, he believed what he was doing had a true purpose, had a meaning, and by standing up, fighting, he was able to support those who could not support themselves.
For protection against your Norman friends.
But you've taken Norman lives.
Yes, those that deserved it. Cruel and unjust.
You're a strange man.
Strange. Because I can feel for beaten, helpless people.
No, you're strange because you want to do something about it.
Olivia de Havilland starred in several other films before Adventures in Robin Hood, including the 1935 A Midsummer's Night Dream, as well as Captain Blood, also starring Errol Flynn in 1935. After Captain Blood, Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn became the most sought-after couple in Hollywood, as their on-screen chemistry was convincing, romantic, and entertaining to watch.
Robin!
Yes? Then you do love me, don't you? Don't you?
You know I do.
Well, that's different.
De Havilland, through Maid Marian, elevates the damsel in distress character as she inserts charm and quick-witted assertiveness.
Interested in learning why I turned outlaw? Or are you afraid of the truth? Or of me, perhaps?
I'm afraid of nothing, least of all of you.
Good. Then come with me. Oh, so you are afraid?
He viewed Robin as a dangerous outlaw, a threat to society. However, she transforms from a skeptic to an ally as she realized after meeting Robin what his morals were and what was truly going beyond behind the scenes. However, her heart is more gradual. She doesn't change her mind right away. She has to see for her own eyes before she believes what Robin says. This creates a more realistic characterization, which Olivia de Havilland did well in each of her scenes. Moving on to the villains of the story, Basil Rathbone playing Sir Guy and Prince John being played by Claude Rains were both renowned actors with unique acting styles. Basil Rathbone was known as a sophisticated actor as he was able to play the villain and the hero. While he debuted in the silent era, he found tremendous success during the talkies era as his voice and demeanor were entertaining to watch. Playing in several movies before The Adventures of Robin Hood, including Edward Copperfield in 1935 and Captain Blood of 1935. His ability to bring menace and intelligence to his role kept him on screen. As Sir Guy, Rathbone was a convincing duelist both in banter and swordplay. He brought to light this character of menace and frustration, as he was determined to get what he wanted when he wanted it. On screen, this comes apparent as every banter with Robin.
If it amused me, yes. You can be thankful that my humor's of a different sort.
By what right do you interfere with the king's justice?
By a better right than you have to misuse it. And that goes for your master, Prince John.
I'll give him that message.
His quiet, calculating intensity combats Robin's flamboyant personality. With his exceptional swordsmanship and athleticism, we can get thrilling duels that are beyond iconic. Rathbone brings Sir Guy as not just a side character, but a villain in his own right, as he has his own motives besides just following Prince John says, creating more power for himself. Claude Rains, who played the big bad villain Prince John, was known for his expressive voice and playing various characters. His versatility was highly sought after in the film industry, being several different films before The Adventures of Robin Hood, including The Invincible Man of 1933, The Mystery of Edwin Drood in 1935, and Anthony's Adverse in 1936, his voice and commanding presence overseed his small figure. His role demonstrated in Robin Hood gave him the ability to be menacing, yet charismatic, who was a cunning, manipulative schemer who was surprisingly optimistic and willing to betray his family. His convincing, charismatic, yet sinister demeanor appeared ruthless and annoying to anyone watching on screen. Claude Rains didn't need to be this basic trope of the big bad guy being physically intimidating. He could be the cunning, clever wit to outsmart everyone in the room. The film presents an engaging narrative, as there is an equal balance of action, romance, and humor. The film brings to light different moral themes, including what is wrong or right, and standing up for what you believe in, worth the pain that it possibly can cause. Because of this resonates with audiences. Another strength of The Adventures of Robin Hood is the entertaining characters played by Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, Basil Rathbone, and Claude Rains. The contrast of characters brought witty banter that was entertaining to watch the interactions, as well as relatable moments with the commentary and reactions of one another. Even side characters such as Friar Tuck, Little John, or Will Scarlet were all entertaining to watch as they brought up the hopes and excitement for the people, interacting with Robin, challenging him while supporting him in his cause.
7 acorns out of my ribs. Lovely fresh air. My teeth ache with chattering.
Of course, the greatest strength of the film is the camera work throughout the score, as the different uses with the Technicolor, with the bright forest, or the pan shots within the archery contest, or the medium shots showing the different relationships, or the shadows bringing intensity and excitement. All these were dynamically shot, which created a fluid movement throughout each of the scenes. The creative use of angles and shadows frames the important visuals needed for storytelling, including Robin's dramatic escape from Nottingham Castle, the last sword fight, or the intimacy between Robin and Maid Marian during the romantic scenes. This includes the groundbreaking technology, the Technicolor cinematography that Warner Bros. Used for that vibrant colors, emboldening the storytelling to be uplifted. However, not everything is perfect, and the plot in this movie is easily predictable. One of the weaknesses of books and recent movies throughout the golden age of films is a classic story of a hero's journey, which is a little formulaic with simple narratives. However, the simplistic villains, while they are well developed for the story, characters such as Prince John are well acted but lack complexity, besides them being evil to be evil.
Word's on his throat, Your Highness.
Oh, no. Later. Let him spout for the moment. And what do you propose to do?
Another weakness I saw was the romantic trope of damsel in distress trying to ally. However, this is a overplayed trope due to contemporary standards, as we desire more character development in the romance. However, during the golden age of 1930s film, this was a more newer trope and exciting to see a female character stand up and fight with the main protagonist. Speaking of romance, the emotional presentation is minimal with each of the characters. While they are all witty and adventurous in their own right, there is not many dramatic, intimate moments with the main characters to see personalized struggle and emotions. We don't see this with Prince John, we don't see this with Sir Guy. We see a little bit with Olivia de Havilland, as she is excellent with bringing that turmoil. However, we don't see that turmoil within Robin. The Adventures of Robin Hood set the golden standard for all future adaptations of Robin Hood's story. Errol Flynn's performance as Robin Hood became the archetype of any noble outlaw as a daring hero who fights justice with courage, charm, and camaraderie. We see this in today's characters as in movies across all genres, such as some of my favorites, Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy. Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games.
Thank you.
And Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Just to name a few. This witty banter dialogue became a hallmark for influencing heroes such as Indiana Jones, whose character is a blend of charm and intelligence. The movie style is even so beloved that even The Adventures of Robin Hood have several different parodies, including one with Jamie Foxx putting 10 cents as Little John. I don't know how that happened, but he did that. As it was one of the first major films to use Technicolor, The Adventures of Robin Hood was able to have that vibrant green forest and detailed costume. Black and white color could simply not do, with it pushing the boundaries of what a color film could achieve, telling a story in a fantastical world, influencing filmmakers' approach to production. The Adventures of Robin Hood is a legend, as it created the essence of the swashbuckling adventure genre during Hollywood's golden age. Through heroism, there is a timeless storytelling that will influence modern films for decades to come.